I know that investing in a tripod doesn't sound anywhere near as fun as getting a new camera or a new lens, but when it comes to tripods, if all you're thinking about is, oh, I'm just using this thing to get static shots or doing some pan and tilt movements, you are definitely missing out. I have another video that I'll have linked that shows how you can use your tripod not only for those things, which is really good and useful for video, but you could also use a tripod for things like a dolly, a steady cam, a slider, all kinds of different technique shots you can do. And you might actually realize I can save a lot of money if I just invest in a good quality tripod with a good fluid head, and I don't need all that other gear. So be sure to check that video after this one, and it may just change your mind and make you more excited about getting a tripod. And because tripods are so useful when it comes to them, I have so many different kinds. I've been using this travel tripod for many years now. It's Manfrotto's, one of their original BeFree travel tripods. And they just sent me this new version to try out. This one's made specifically for Sony Alpha cameras. I've used it with my A7 IV, my FX3, so let me know down in the comments what camera are you using, because you can use other cameras with it as well, and there are other versions that are more suited to various cameras depending on what you're using. This one is the aluminum with flip locks. They've got carbon fiber versions, they have twist locks, and I have them all linked in the description. It doesn't cost you any extra if you buy from Amazon or B&H through those links, but it does greatly help out the channel. What I love about these is how compact you can make them. They close down into a really small form factor, only about 15.5 inches. It'll easily fit into a normal size camera backpack, or you could just carry it in the included bag. And this was really helpful when we were filming at the beach for my feature film, because the beach we used had signs when we got there saying that you needed a permit for filming. But the small setup along with my Sony camera rig didn't really draw attention because it looked like I wasn't anything more than just a camera hobbyist. The base plate that comes with it fits snugly under the Sony Alpha cameras. I've used it with my A4 here with the FX3 that I'm filming on right now, and this thing is really secure. You can twist it on there with this part that comes out, and there's a little key that comes with it that you can really tighten it down good, and it'll be very secure. However, you still can use these typical 501 plates that Manfrotto has. I've got a ton of these from all the different tripods I've used, but one of the nice things about this is the ability to easily switch to a vertical filming mode. As I've gotten more into making vertical videos for Instagram and YouTube Shorts, I've started using my phone a lot more just because it's so convenient. And the times that I did want to get higher quality video, I'd have to take my camera, take off the base plate, turn it sideways, put it back on the camera, then get it on there and crank the head of the tripod over. And it's not really designed to turn that far because vertical video wasn't really a thought for that, but now that it's so prevalent, this thing makes it very easy. You can simply loosen one axis, turn it over 90 degrees without any extra adjustments of your camera, and now all of a sudden you are set for taking vertical video with a higher quality camera. And there are multiple bubble levels in each axis, whether you're in the horizontal or the vertical mode, to help you quickly level the tripod head regardless of which configuration you're using. Now, the most important part of any tripod I get is having a good fluid head. And the smaller the tripod is, it's not going to be as good as a high quality one like what I set up for a cinema camera, but this thing can hold up to 13 pounds, which most rigs are probably going to be 5 pounds and under, so you're not even going to be near that limit. And this tripod will be able to get you smooth footage in those pans and tilts, and I have some tips how to get those even smoother in that video I talked about with the tripod tricks linked for you to check out after this one. I used it on our shoot with my FX3, a cage, a microphone, a lens, and a monitor, and did not have any issues. And this thing can go as low as 16.5 inches or all the way up to 59.5 inches or 5 feet. But the thing to keep in mind when making height adjustments is to try to keep the center column adjustment as low as possible, because when you extend it, it starts to get very shaky as you're doing your movements. So you'll want to extend the 4 legs from the 3 flip lock sections as much as possible to get as close as you can to the height you want, and then just fine tune that height adjustment with the center column adjustment. The legs have a slide latching mechanism to quickly adjust the width of the leg spread on the tripod, and this is a nice upgrade from this previous model we had here, because it was easy to move it from this compacted version to being down, and now we're good to go here, or you go here and it's further out. But this thing can get moved easily, and it's not going to fall over on you. It's secure, but I would be moving another one and bump it, and then it would kind of fall in, and I have to fix it, and This new one just really improves on that very well because you just simply hear it click, go all the way up there, click, click, simple, one little switch. And speaking of being secure, there's also a ballast hook near the center column so you can add weight to help keep the tripod even more stable. And you also have the option to connect more gear to this 1/4 inch thread, which they call the Easy Link, near the center column. Now this travel tripod is $320, but it is on sale for $200 right now at B&H, so it's definitely a good deal. Tripods are such a good tool, and this is a great way to get stable footage, especially when you're traveling, because this thing breaks down so small, it's easy to take with you, it's not very heavy, and it opens up all kinds of possibilities. For example, something I like to do is to get long exposure time lapses when I go to various famous places, and using a tripod is a definite must for something like that, because your camera needs to be as stable as possible, because if you get shakes when you're doing a long exposure, it's just going to look really blurry. And so having a tripod like this opens up all kinds of possibilities in that realm. And again, go check out that other tripod tricks video I have, and you'll be able to see all the things you could do with this. Just holding it like this and using it like a Steadicam or a gimbal. You don't have to take a gimbal with you now when you're traveling. You already got your tripod with you. There's ways to use it as a slider. All those things I mentioned before, really cool techniques that'll up your filmmaking game, because just getting a camera, yeah, you get a quality camera, you can get quality footage, but then you have to learn how lighting works with it. And you got to learn how camera movements work and which camera movements work in which situations. And you're all of a sudden start thinking, oh, now I need a tripod and a monopod and a gimbal and a slider and a dolly and all these things, but really you can mimic a lot of those movements with a good tripod like this. So if you have any questions about this tripod, post them down in the comments and I'll try to help you out the best I can there. Really thankful to Manfrotto for sending me this. I've been buying their products for years. I think you guys won't regret getting a tripod like this, or pretty much any tripod they have, but there are a lot of versions, and beware if you're looking at other options. Make sure if you're filmmaking, you're getting one with a video fluid head, because if you just get a standard one for photos, you're not going to get the same results as you would something like this. But keep practicing, go make some films, and I'll see you next time.